Tonight on ECS, Renegades will lock horns with Rogue as they battle it out on Mirage and Inferno. Both teams fall in the middle of the pack, Renegades sitting 6th with 6 wins and 8 losses, and Rogue falling just below them in 7th place with 5 wins and 5 losses. Rogue recently faced the monsters of NRG, who denied Rogue's chance of putting any wins on the board, only permitting them 6 rounds over both maps. Renegades also found themselves with 2 losses in their last matchup against Luminosity. The side failed to take down the Brazilians as Cello and Showtime turned up on Inferno, leaving Renegades with no room to move after already being defeated on Cobble. With Rogue hot on their heels, Renegades will need to return with fire in their step, as we saw against the likes of eUnited and Complexity. With one Season 5 final spot already being secured by NRG, the pressure is on for both teams to step up and perform tonight. Don't go anywhere. All this coming up right here at youtube.com/FACEIT.
Are you quite finished?
What's wrong with clapping?
Well, I was about to start talking. You disturbed the beginning of the show.
So you get right into it.
Welcome to the North American segment of today's show. We have 2 games for you. Let's have a look at what those games are. It is Rogue versus Renegades. But what are the maps? Mirage and Inferno, 2 nice maps. Nice. Very interested to see what will happen here. Perhaps we can have a look at the league table and see what these matches might mean, since it's just these 2 teams playing in today's matches. Renegades currently lie in 6th place, and they are tied with Liquid, who have 2 games in hand over them. But with 2 games to play, 6 points would be marvelous, and Rogue are just shy of them, but they have a lot of games in hand. So there's definitely some climbing to be done. We see eUnited have made their way to 4th place after yesterday's antics. There's a lot of fluidity to be had in this table. Would you agree, guys?
Definitely. Yep. I mean, this would be pivotal at Rogue standing, because the 5 losses means they can make it land very easily, whereas Renegades are just trying their hardest to make sure they stay afloat. So Rogue have a big opportunity. This is going to be 2 of their, I want to say, easier matches in terms of other teams in the league for them to be able to beat Renegades. Not going to be easy to do, but compared to some of the other competition, this will be a chance.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Who do you favor for these 2 matches?
It's always really difficult because I feel like Renegades, I always overestimate them because I feel like, do you know what I mean? Like
last season, I mean, they were so up and coming.
They have a lot of very good players.
But they've had a lot of very good players for a while, right?
That's the thing. It's like on paper, you look at it like, this team should be doing really well. And they just struggle to find their groove. Nifty's an amazing player as well. I mean, it was such an amazing pickup. And he's individually incredible, but he's the leader of the team as well. And I mean, we've seen it before. Like lots of teams have great success. Fallen is the hallmark of an AWPA in-game leader. He's the very model that you base yourself on. Yep, something's not coming together for them, and I still don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if any of you can hesitate to make a guess.
I think the IGLing, I think we've seen Nifty have on and off games, and I think that part of that is because of the structure that he put himself in place, where I don't think he's lined up as the star player in some of his setups in halves. So sometimes he'll have like a much better CT side, and you don't see him on T side, and it's like, why isn't he not fragging on the T side? And so I feel like maybe the way he's setting up the team, he could just be trying to be a little bit too humble about things, not putting himself in positions to get a lot of the opening kills or be responsible to start the rounds off, where he's a very explosive and can be a very aggressive opper. So maybe that's part of it, but it's definitely not Jacob. Jacob has actually played very well as a replacement. Probably not as good as Neff can play, but definitely not the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution is for Renegades to be more than a middling team. I don't even know if we. I mean, obviously Jacob was a replacement for them, but I don't know if we. Yeah, I mean Jacob is, as you said, he's a good replacement, but I don't know if we see like a continual progression from Renegades, or if they're just plateauing, and this is where they might get to sometimes, and otherwise they're kind of if they're here to here, but not quite going down the end of the road.
It's just one of those teams where you know that the players have a lot of potential, but they're just not being put in the right spot somehow. They're just not finding they're a spot where they can have some fluidity and dynamism to their play that will allow them to express themselves on the server, and instead they may be operating from a position where they can never get as much as they should be able to get individually. And of course, like a team that's the very opposite of this is Fnatic. Fnatic is a team where all of the individuals are able to roam and make plays at their very will. And that's how the team works. And they know each other so well that they know that even if 3 of us are making individual plays at the same time, they understand how to make that work because they understand so intrinsically how everyone plays.
It's like, what if Bob Ross was never given a paintbrush? You know, maybe he wouldn't be famous. Maybe we wouldn't be talking about him here today.
I like it. I like that. So it's a good
I know
point.
you're looking at me just to question. I'm too tired for your
I like that. I think that's good.
And that doesn't mean much, does it? If you like something.
What do you mean?
Wow,
I got a sextant.
No, I think it works. I think it works.
I got a sextant today. Let's talk about that.
Is that a drone?
It's a sextant. No, it's not a drone. It's a sextant. It's a sextant. I didn't know it takes batteries. So
it looks like a protractor.
check this out.
Yes.
Check this out.
Tractor, yeah. I like it.
Oh my god.
He's so tilted
So done.
He's going to leave the studio. Well, Rogue are definitely the underdog team, regardless of what we feel Renegades are capable of. They should certainly, on paper, be winning against Rogue. Rogue, though, with Cadian, have actually been doing some good damage recently. He's been doing a lot of work with the AWP. Doing a good job there. Sick, of course, a great young talent. But talented as they may be, they can't seem to break in onto this A bomb site. Nico will bunny hop into his doom. Maybe we can show it on an eco round, James.
Yeah.
No, it's too late now.
It's got little TVs on it.
Don't be like that. Don't be one of those people.
It's too late now. My Master Sextant has been put away.
You just offended James. We can bring it back for education.
Well, maybe when I know how to use it.
That's fair too. That might add more value to the experience.
Yes.
We would have just been asking you questions about it. I guess you would have just been like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know how it moves. I didn't even know it came with batteries.
How do you know it's
use
real?
them. That is a good question, since there's a lot of fakes, even on the Amazon.
Okay, so connect the smoke. Boss! There it is. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Why is there a second one there?
That's weird.
Was there a second one from by the T's?
Seems like they used all their smoke.
Yeah,
they don't have the bomb.
Ooh. 2 players going for that. This is awesome. So they decide to go into B now, though. I mean, they have 2 kills in a short position. It's getting a bit chaotic, but looks like they will find their way onto a full frontal assault here on the B bomb site, where the remainder of Rogue remains. But that'll be that. So the force buy dealt with.
It got a little hectic, a little bit risky, I feel like, walking through the connector smoke.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it seemed like maybe they were just trying to follow frags. They go mid a lot on their anti-ecos. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. In that situation, the kills came their way. The smokes look good.
He dies, he dies. Don't actually know what the reference is from, but James has said it before in the past.
James Bardoff.
I would love James to like write a movie script one day. We are in LA, of course.
Mm-hmm. He would just be like everyone else. He'd fit in.
But I think he has some interesting ideas. He's a creative.
If you want to hear about a movie script in LA, just take an Uber and talk to your Uber driver.
Do you think I should show the sextant whilst he's not on stream?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I don't actually, that might tilt him really heavily.
Okay.
I don't know if I
Maybe we don't have to do that.
No, I can't do it. I can't. I'm going to close the box.
My box is closed.
He's been talking about this for a long time. He's been waiting
It's true.
to show it for quite some time.
I think there was some genuine sadness.
Yeah. I think he's generally mad. Anyway, so we are into the buy round now. The orb comes out onto Cadium. And Renegades should not require any sophisticated tools such as Sextant to navigate Rogue's defense. See what I did there? Did you like that? Nice.
Celestially.
Hello, James. So we have a set piece onto the A site, which is what Renegades want to go for. Or do they actually want to go contact here? Are they going to go contact? Looks like they're set up for the contact. They will have a flashbang over though from JChem, and they'll burst out of the apartments. Flick miss from Cadian. We'll have to see if he gets many more opportunities. GMD locking it down from Shadow. Will eventually be traded out, and Cadian's still in the mix from the toll booth, and Nifty is expectant of the jump up onto the crate. Cadian will get taken down by Nifty in the end.
Always regret that. Jumping up on the CT box. But a play needed to be made.
4-0.
Not quite warm, it seems. The CT sniper.
Yeah, they for that for a walkout. They had the perfect setup. Off Cadian wasn't flashed. It's still a hard shot to hit in his defense, but that's a setup that Rogue wanted to have versus that kind of a hit.
Not a good sign then to be defeated. Nevertheless,
Cadian's normally got a pretty good output for Rogue from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Often top fragging for the side. Excuse me. Some P50s out here for Rogue. Not a good start for... Okay, well, that's the thing. The bomb's still in the control of the Ts, but there's 2 guns lost on A ramp. They have secured the B bomb site. The bomb will quickly have to race there as well. And Renegades will look to take some aggressive positions for the hold as the rotation comes in or not from the CTs. It seems they will prioritize the 2 AKs. I think some people would... I mean, it depends on where you are and so on. Maybe go for the retake, go 3-on-3 with 2 AKs, but they'll prioritize those over the M4s, and maybe they will make the difference, and maybe they need those AKs since they are 0 and 5, or they're about to be.
I do like it sometimes because, as you say, there's definitely a couple arguments here. You know, they're buying anyway. Why not try to get more damage onto your opponent's economy? But then the flip side is, well, if we have a rough situation later, this might be the difference between having an AWP and not having an AWP in a future round, which is actually a really big deal on a map like Mirage on the CT side. So I actually like this choice from them to save and not prioritize any more damage. That said, in a Renegade's economy is getting out of control anyway, so it's not going to make too much of a difference. I think the save money is going to be...
Yeah, I think you're trying to win a round or saving. I think those are your options. The damage is inconsequential.
That round there is a really good example of why it's nice to have a default, just in general, because they were so ready to hit B, even though they lost their 2A guys. Guimond getting the 2 CZ kills at A ramp, and they had other outs in the round. They didn't have to go back and search. They didn't have to think about, oh shoot, do we have to go back to A? They were just ready to go.
His name sounds French. It's probably Guimond.
Yeah, he's actually French. French Canadian.
A nice response to the smoke executor text from Renegades, but GMD will go down through the smoke. You know, how brave are these team players? We'll expect second play there. There often is a 2-man setup on ramp, so they may have to respect that anyway. In the meantime, Yustillo making inroads to the B bomb site with Azar. Smoke down towards short, however, Sick is already beyond that position. We'll fall back for the time being, as Cadian's still on the A site being entertained by JKS, but a bomb is heading into B now.
Yeah, this is a really bad spot, isn't it, for Rogue? I don't see how they're going to be able to retake this. And it looks like Vice could maybe try to make a sneaky play here, but JChem is eliminating all of the potential distraction. And that's the only way that Vice could really do this. There's more than enough players for Renegades to cover every option, so the only way to stop or create an opening is to create distraction, so one option is not covered. But that will not be the case. So smart of him to fall back. Now with the 6-0. This looks very clinical so far from Renegades.
a lot of that round comes down to Hiko on B, and normally he's reliable for the multi-frag and a solo site. That's kind of what he's meant for. So it was a big opening kill from Ustilo to just win his duel with Hiko straight up.
It's really difficult. I remember I forget which week it was of play, and it was SK versus, maybe it was like E United or something like that on Mirage, and you saw Stewie just working the B apartments by himself and like consistently just causing insane amounts of problems for the B player. And then it created this situation where the CTs had to deal with just Stewie because he's creating so much of a problem. Like if you win that pick onto the B defender, and you got to play like Stewie, who's able to just mind game you, just be faster than you. That is, you have to address that because otherwise B sites just open all the time, or you have to like force so passively that they could just explode onto the B splits, and it becomes really a big problem. So
yeah,
got to keep tabs on that.
Yeah, he's always moving around. I picture Stewie as like one of those super balls that if you throw it in a room really hard and it's just bouncing around like trying to catch it. Like that's Stewie.
I like it. Those things are fun.
Rogue still looking for round number 1. And it seems they may rotate the position of the sniper rifle as well. It's an Arcadian heading over towards the B bomb site. And if he can get into position, then it will allow them to put more of the numbers towards another site. Spots one player, spots second one, that's the bomb as well. He's going to smoke himself off, which allows the T's to collect the bomb, but those repicks could be dangerous. Continues to spam now. What is the play here for Renegades? Bomb's been collected. JKS will force Cadian away, but what will the other two players do?
So this is what we're talking about having to address the B player, like switching it up, having the AWP there. That's one of the most perfect solutions you can possibly have. Especially if the AWP hasn't been shown there before, because then it changes the T's expectation. The way they're going to peek that angle, if they think it's a rifler, is much more unsafe if there's an AWP there instead. So,
yep.
So it worked out really well. And that actually won them the round. That one small decision.
That's how
Katie in there.
SK came back from with that one time at that major.
Oh yes.
That you guys guessed.
Yes. A jumping AWP.
30 seconds for Ustilo to get some more picks here. This is a question of damage. He is 6-0, in fact. Everybody's got to die sometime. Isn't that how the song goes? Maybe not. 4 players surviving for Rogue. See what Renegades can do with all the money they have.
Nice confident pick from Cadian. And the double. Seeing the bomb was a big deal too. I mean, 1 kill is bad enough, but then getting the info on the bomb and the second kill, Renegades know that round's pretty much a write-off at that point.
So where is that smoke going? Towards jungle, maybe? It's one way to smoke yourself off. Ooh, how about that? Was that the smoke? I don't even know. Not a lineup I have seen before.
So typically, like, operas will throw the smoke preemptively into connectors so they don't end up in the situation where Cadian was, but he only took a little bit of damage, so it wasn't bad.
Ooh, Vice missing the mark there. And look at this map control from Renegades. Connor confirmed that was the smoke from spawn. He's still standing with his back to. So GMD's in a pretty important position. They might not check this.
It's going to be hard to justify not checking it. Oh.
Getting backing all the way into spawn. Jacob, that's a massive pick there towards B. You can see the panic for Rogue now. Having to fall all the way back as an ever dangerous and encroaching threat. And the flashbang play will do it. And all the guns will be wiped clean except the AK of Hiko, but maybe that is not long for this world either. I see he's trying to stay alive, but there's plenty of time to be hunted. Or for the Renegades players to hunt. Hiko, can he survive? 1. 2 more to worry about. And you still will take him down. 7-1, and this game really looks like Renegades are outskilling Rogue pretty heavily, individually, We're seeing a lot of 1v1s just go the way of Renegades pretty consistently.
Yeah, this is what it looks like to win your default. And then every time they go mid, they go and get 2 kills on different people. Forcing Rogue to run out mid and get sprint again.
That was quick. This is a disastrous game so far for Rogue. I think it's clear to say.
Yeah. It hasn't looked too competitive, has it?
Vice is 0-7. I was surprised he didn't. I didn't think he, when he was in CT shooting the player through the crawl space, who was in the window area, didn't hit him once, and he had to jump on him, just about. So he is not feeling it just yet. But there's still time to recover.
Come on, Vice. Come on. Denied. 8-1. Renegades claiming another round, and they are not looking like they're going to slow down anytime soon. JKM has reached, well, just shy of 16k, as is Ustillo, and you know their bank generally is so good. Renegades can do no wrong, it would seem. So far, the double ops are coming out though for Rogue, which could be a much-needed response, but we'll see if Renegades choose the default or not, which is where the ops will be strong. If they just go for a straight set piece on A, that actually causes a lot of problems for the double ops.
Smokes out in the mid area, but it seems it's just to pull the CTs in that direction. No sounds, and all of a sudden, many grenades sailing into the A site. It's A with smokes. HE is deposited, and Jacob will take some big damage. GMD's out with a flashbang, only good for 1 kill though. They know where one player is. I think we have a bench push from the CTs where it was attempted, but they're having to fall back. Sick towards CT with one of 2 sniper rifles, open at the moment, but does he look high, does he look low?
It's a good catch, and that's a bomb. Helpless on the ground. Needs to be collected, but there's no smoke. It's only 2 flashbangs. How on earth did he pull this one off? Okay, well, there's the smoke from one of the CTs. Towards triple. Block Nifty, and Nifty will get taken down anyway. Up to JKS now. 1 versus 4. Looking for damage. 3rd up collected by Rogue. Wonder if they'll hang on to that. Well, JKS, he wants to make things painful here. This is not a good spot against 3 ops. It's not a good spot to be in. So another round for Rogue, number 2 on the board.
It's a weird round. So the bomb should not be crossing across CT when they have the 2 smokes down, jungle and stairs. They can just plant opposite triple and then plant for Nifty to come behind them and connector. Like that's seemed to be what their whole strategy was about. But for some reason, the bomb, when the smokes go up, you have 15 seconds to get the bomb down. Bomb only crosses into the site after that time, and they have no one watching CT for him. So maybe a bit of a communication error from the Renegades, but it looked like they got what they wanted out of the strat.
Now they need to not get resets again. 3 players waiting for Renegades at the top of mid, and that smoke will be a nuisance. Run the clock down, and Rogue will back off and just leave them to it. Question marks to be answered by the T side. Meanwhile, we've got JKS in the Palace, GMD underneath, or above in fact. Some activity from Rogue. Now Sick will be left in situ on B with the AWP, and they will bolster these defenses towards A.
Yeah, looking quite good on A, but what are Renegades after? They're yet to really make a call. I mean, they can do all sorts. Obviously, the player in Palace can be just a straight lurk if they are to go into B, or it can just be a player that is sort of a soft lurk, just can help the push out once distraction is caused. But smokes everywhere here, windows, shorts, and they'll boost into that window smoke. That is a very strong position against the players on Shadow, but Cadian has the gap, the vent position with the AWP, so they may not be able to get that angle.
Time. There's only 20 seconds left for them to make this push, and 3 players are so deep on A. They're never going to expect all of these positions, and it seems difficult to deal with. Double Shadow positions, not a single kill there for Renegades. No plant either, and that is an expensive round, especially after losing the previous one already. Still money in the bank, but it may start to disappear before their eyes and just keeps going this way.
Dan, you've said stuff like, you've mentioned rounds like this before where it's like a domino effect, where one guy dies, then everybody else can die, and for Rogue, it just went the opposite way that Renegades wanted, where Rogue found the first kill, they understand what was going on, everybody else is watching all the other angles. That was
just
very nice
in time, just before the smoke explodes in his face. He will explode on you, Stillo. Rogue, having made their adjustment towards the B bomb site with the AWP, finding some success now. There is a renewed effort towards B from Renegades, and Nifty will make the opening frag with the AK. Hiko taken out, but Sick is still lurking field.
JKS will remove Cadian from the picture, and it's going to be hard to get into the bomb site. They've got Naves, but Nifty's ready to pounce. If there is to be a flash, he's going to throw one himself. That could be the winning ticket. They were not expecting to have to worry about a flash from that angle. Another one goes in. Now he may have lost the chance, so he might just have to wait here, but the CTs are not likely going to be thinking about going for this now. Oh, so weak. HP. And that'll be Sick dead. Vice with a nice trade, but they will concede another round, and that's the main issue right now. And so they just really don't have enough rounds. I like this round more from Renegades because the previous round they lost because Rogue played a passive setup where they basically gamble, and that is actually okay if the other team is not good at executing a set piece, basically, or like getting enough map info to exploit it, or it's not good enough on the coordination, which I think it did look a little bit sloppy on the way in. So a faster round is definitely better here for Renegades.
Bosch. Both teams with a bye. 3 rounds remain in this first half. And Rogue will want to double their score for sure.
Cadian burning almost to death. The nade will finish him. That play did not work out as intended. JKS pushes the smoke and pit. That opens up the A side. There's nobody there. Everyone had their eyes on middle, and they'll get their eyes closed forcefully. No choice. Freedom has been taken away. Hiko will try to make do with the M4, but he can't get anything done, and that's another round for Renegades, and it looks pretty comfortable for them.
Oh, I wonder if Cadian threw the smoke, but it missed the bounce or something. Took a lot of Molotov damage there running around the connector.
Yeah, yeah.
This round, the total 4-step from Rogue. They're going to decide to buy this in next round. It's not going to be a lot of money. If they don't win this round, it's probably going to be an 11-4 half. A 12-3 half? Probably. Oh,
Ooh.
There was like an extra jump there.
Yeah.
He just sat on top of his head for one more second, but how could he know? How could he know?
Such a big problem. That's such a big problem for Rogue. They don't have any utility. That really creates a spot where they need to find a place to push on the map, and they need to be able to do something. If they stay 2 on a bomb site, it would be Renegades playing a lot of mistakes for them to actually end up winning the round, I would say. And look at this. Openings are created. Nifty looking to exploit that. He's found his way, unbeknownst to the CTs, into the jungle position. That cuts off rotation. His teammates will cut off the heads of the defenders on A. And another round will go to Renegades. Just based off of an early pick.
Renegades. Saving for the last round, I suppose. Hiko and Sick. Silo bouncing around without a care in the world. Smelling the flowers, admiring the roses, glancing at the daffodils, perhaps.
Soliloquies of wind and breeze.
Get it, Dan. Get it. Get it.
Get in.
Get it.
Get in.
Get it, not get in.
Oh. But that's like a very UK lad thing to say. Get in.
It is.
Get in. Have him. Well, the money is still out of control for Renegades. They've never really had any struggle. Never been a struggle. The struggle bus business is not of a concern to them.
Ain't no party like a struggle bus party.
I just want to know what songs they sing on that bus. On the struggle bus.
Hiko on a Mag 7. Mag 7 on Mirage is just I mean, Max 7 on a Mirage is expensive, all things considered. I'd rather have a Scout, I think. I don't know. Depends on your position, of course. He's playing over towards B. So you stall. When you have a B player with a Max 7, you know things are going terribly wrong.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. He does manage to switch up for the AK, and he's getting some frags. 2 for Hiko, 2v1 now. JKM left in the after plant. The bomb was fairly freshly planted, so there is time for this, and there's a kill on Cadian.
The seed has barely grown.
Let's see if they can actually make this work, or if JKM will explode into a lovely 1v2 clutch. And he will get flushed out by Hiko. Well played by Hiko. Hiko actually threw the Molotov very well there, just making it sure that it contacted the top of the box so that it guaranteed would spread behind the box.
Yeah, it had good coverage, because yeah, if you throw too hard, then it can bounce all the way like really far into CT, and that's not a situation you want to be in.
The range.
That was fraudulent.
Wow.
That was fraudulent.
Very nice round from Hiko.
The Max 7 has a mind of its own sometimes.
It feels so random at that range, doesn't it? It's crazy. It's like that you do 0 damage when you get a kill. It's just insane.
Well then, full Kevlar for Renegades on the CT side. Hiko and Cadian with some utility. Hiko with a P250 as well. P250 club stand up. And, okay, is he going to offer something towards the ramp position with the P250? Looks like he might be. Meanwhile, the numbers game is played towards Connector. Nifty will pick one player off from the short position. And Jacob trying to look over the smoke. He can't quite see, but now he can. Jumping up, but the aim punch from Sick. The one tap onto JKS. He's doing a lot to win this round for his team. Flashbang towards CT, slightly behind their heads. Azar and Stillo, last 2 men. Bomb,
Ooh.
very exposed. Ooh, GMD doesn't need to go back to the well. Teammates trying to use a distraction. The info is there, but there isn't a kit for these CT, so I feel like the round is already lost.
Certainly is now. No assistance for Azar. Rogue will win the pistol. But they have to defeat the Force Spy, because that's what's coming here. Renegades don't care about saving for AWP. Bosh. Bosh. Anyone saving money? Okay, Nifty is saving money, so he will have an AWP. Nice. Okay, best of both worlds. They'll get the Force Buy, but one player not investing, so they can have the AWP on the first buy round, but they will still be lacking a huge amount of utility. But that's the choice that they've made. It might work out. They have a skill advantage, and it makes it more beneficial to focus on Force Buys. And I like it though from Rogue. They'll just charge into B, keep things simple, and it's going to work. Force Spy has been dismantled. Maybe Jacob could get a cheeky kill, cheeky steal. But other than that, there's not much to think about here for Renegades. This is another reason why playing fast anti-force spies is so strong, because the team force spying gets no reaction time and no adjustment time, and if there's a scout, the scout doesn't get to pick away at players and soften them up for the pistols.
Yeah, there's only some maps that you can maybe justify taking your time, but most of the time, like playing, there's almost no disadvantages and a lot of advantages to playing quickly. Because yeah, taking out the adjustment time is a huge one.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially because one of the nature of I would say the force buys is you're more likely to over rotate. So you're more sensitive to rotations. So you're as soon as there's action somewhere, it's very likely people rotate much more quickly than they would otherwise on a buy round, where you have utility and better guns. Because you want to make sure you can get position, because that's the only way you can win that round. So there's another thing to think about.
I wonder if Rogue will be able to run over Renegades with these AKs in the same fashion that Renegades did in the first half, because I feel like that is becoming somewhat more common, where the AKs around people just get wrecked. So I'm curious to see if we will see similar behavior in this half. I feel like in North America, the matches, some of the days we've seen, That has been the story of a number of matches. Dominant T sides. People just wilding out with their one taps. The headshots in general. Curious to see where Nifty will go on this CT side. He's hopped up to the short position already. JKS will hear the footsteps. Great start from him. Oh. 3 with the FAMAS. It's a French gun after all. Cadian will get his first frag of this round, but can Rogue recover from this?
It's so hard when you're stuck at Tetris. If that's the most forward positioning you have, and your utility's basically gone, it becomes incredibly difficult. And there's a big argument even just going back and resetting the situation, actually, instead of trying to force it. It doesn't make sense. The rotation's there already. You haven't got any position. And now it's just Cadian.
On the flower pots.
Very hopeless. Yeah.
I wonder how long he stays here for, because he jumps down, makes a sound. He knows they're close, the bomb is around the corner. So it's just interesting, isn't it?
Guaranteed screwed. The slow flank too is on the way from Istilo.
When I was in Lithuania, this is a bit grim, but there was, I don't know if it was basically it was this building, which I don't know if it was used by the Nazis or somebody, some oppressive regime anyway. And there was this room, which they found just a few years ago, had a false floor in it, because there was a leak and they were trying to find the leak, and they found this false floor. And it was a sloped room with a little stand in the middle that poked out of the water. And basically they would put a prisoner in there and put ice cold water in the room, and he'd have to stand on the little thing which was just above the water.
Yeah.
So, and they'd leave him in there for like a day or 2 days or something. So if he fell asleep or something, he'd be in the ice water, and just like, yeah. It reminded me of that for some reason. That situation.
I just go ahead and tell them all the secrets, but I'd make them all up.
Well, explosive action on mid, as both teams try to take that position, and it will be Rogue who come out the better, but they still have to get onto a bomb site. Ooh, that's going to help. Nifty not so concerned with middle, even though Jacob is in connector. I'm not sure why he's looking towards that position. He will actually get taken down. And that puts a lot of pressure now on the Renegades. And now you can't, like, he still has a chance to even maybe save his gun. It's going to be tough to do much here. He's still going to go for it though. Damage can be done. The money's not great here for the T's. Oh, we might have a very good position, maybe. 1, 2. Oh, if he had the first one more quickly, who knows what would have been possible. But the money has run low. And Rogue are 4 away now from equalizing.
AKs prevail indeed. See if they can continue it. Super cheapo around here from Renegades. Once again, they will go into the shooting gallery, but it's Rogue doing the framing. Nice, get it out of the way. On to the next one. Let's see what kind of buy Renegades have. Nifty will be AWP, no armor, I would assume. Yep. AWP at all times, man after my own heart. But where is he going to go to be effective? Not shy to go towards the window. One would expect him to get smoked off. Looks like it will be B, but will it be Cat? Previously he jumped onto Cat from the window, so I guess with that spawn he could have done it if he wanted to. So it will be the play straight towards B immediately. Early flashbangs, and Cadian says hello!
He's been consistently out-ops by Cadian today.
It's a brave new world.
Today.
And amusingly, that's the move that they punished Cadian making previously, I believe, because Cadian tried to jump up on someone's head, extra jump.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I had it backwards. No, well, not backwards, but I thought that Cadian won that fight too. But yeah, he got killed doing the boost on his teammate's head.
The apps burst. Now this is very winnable for Renegades if Istilo can get a couple kills. Let's see if he can do it. His teammates are in position to do it. Oh, they line up a little bit there on the high ground. Can't still get the damage he needs. He does get 2, but it's a little bit too late. Jken, though, from the flank might just have a chance here. This element surprise is very huge. Cadian has no idea Jken's waiting for a bomb plant. This gets very tense now.
I wonder if he'll get opt if Cadian turns around to ever check for the flank.
He got opt. He took the risk. He took the gamble.
That was a little bit weird because he was expecting
His
Cadian
position was
to
so unknown, right?
peek from that spot.
Yeah.
But the only angle he could peek was back at A ramp.
Played it too safe, maybe.
He could have gone top Tetris, retrospect obviously, taken a risk on finding the other kill, and then looked right down and killed Cadian, or just like walked right up to him or shot him early.
He could have gone Tetris and stood on Cadian's head.
That
would have stayed there.
Beautiful, yes.
That would have been amazing.
Wait for Cadian to crouch, and then Cadian freaks out when he can't uncrouch, and then they both die.
He tabs out.
Top
because
of
he
Reddit,
thinks his game's
5,000
broken.
upvotes. See you later, Shroud.
That would have been epic. What is not epic is another eco round. This time Rogue will slow it down. Standard pop flash into connector. There is no pop flash for every position, as you can see. There's a deep wall on the right, but if there were somebody with an off angle towards shorts or looking through a smoke, they would most certainly be flashed by a flashbang such as that. MSL, good man to look at demos of to see flashes from top mid behind the boxes, standard stuff. Patience will pay off one way or another for Rogue, and the rest of them must advance. Ooh, the bomb carrier standing his ground, Cadian. I think you might want to rotate. Ooh, it's taking a long time, and the support comes back for him instead of to the B bomb site. Off they go, but already you see Ustilo in there. He's gone. GMD putting in work.
Wow. So for all the struggles we accredited Rogue on their CT side, Renegades are having even more of a hard time here. And interestingly, I mean, Renegades looked like they were just purely just outskilling their opponents on all the 1v1s on the T side, on their T side, but it doesn't feel the same from Rogue's T side, but Rogue are having a dominant T side so far. I'm curious if Renegades can find their feet here. They're struggling. So good on Rogue. Their money's getting out of control, much like Renegades did. And the question is, will these double offs be the answer for Renegades? Will Nifty get aggressive somewhere? Because that's what he's amazing at.
Hiko's only got 535 stat track kills on his knife. That's poverty. I've got like 7,000. What's he been doing with himself? Haven't played a game with him for a while.
What, are you no longer friends?
No, I guess he's been focusing on playing Special Counter-Strike. Can't fault him for that. Gotta wait out these Molotovs. These CTs. The counter flashes as well. The timing is being absolutely ruined. Nifty's got to be careful though. Just the one. Surely not two, and not two. No, it won't be. 3 versus 2 for the CTs. Jacob in a very important position. Nobody in Palace. And they'll be focused everywhere but here. Takes that stick immediately. Lovely shot onto Hiko as well. Renegades finally win a round.
That was a really nice straight peek. That was a similar setup to what worked against Renegades on one of the rounds where everybody just fell apart. Rogue did a little bit better than Renegades in that situation. But because of the wins, it doesn't matter so much if the wins are few and far between right now. It's just, are you going to win the critical rounds? The rounds that deplete your opponent's economy, the ones that make them save, because they're 3 away from winning.
Rogue won 8 rounds in a row just then, didn't they? Yeah. Oh no, not in a row. Okay. That was a reset in the mix. Okay, well, Nifty's going to have a delayed peek, it seems. On the top mid. Rogue deciding to take their time. Top mid as well. Cadian can't find a pick. On B. It's somewhat of a standstill at the moment. Cadian's
Go
still
for the wall
trying.
bang. Go for the wall bang.
Do it.
Az is not deep enough. Trying to play an off angle, but he will know as well. I think you can wall bang that with like an AK, right? The lip of the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lip of the balcony, yeah.
The lip of the balcony.
Lips.
Them lips. Well, this is a slow one, isn't it? GMD dives for the cause. But what is the cause, Rogue? Show us, tell us. Explain to us. The bomb is top mid, 35 seconds on the clock.
It's a flash there for Sig as he makes his way forward. Should deal with Nifty. Ooh, that wooden panel is very sketchy to work around. Jakin does take down Cadian. And that's a big problem, another frag for him. There are the pop flashes into mid, as Vice is really the only hope here. Does clear out the A site. There is, if the bomb can be collected, a passage there. Sig does catch his Stillo. And he's going to try to just use the time as best he can to just charge into the A site with the bomb, but he'll go down for his troubles. Trying to re-engage, and that won't go too well. It was a good attempt, make it bad or good of a bad spot, but we'll be 14-11, but Rogue still have the monies.
Seems like they want to just do like a creep up A ramp, but they let JMD just die with no trade. They had Cadian right there at top mid. Guess they weren't expecting an op to be holding that late. They probably could have caused another distraction for him.
So many targets. A lot of info for his team as well, and support is coming. Got to be careful with Connector. The CT side, they've got the smoke down quickly. Nifty's messed up his own smoke grenades. Jacob has not seen GMD make it through. He's taken his teammate down. But Jacob can trade, of course. And he's still got control of Connector.
Palace could be a big issue though, as Vice lurks there, and I suppose the bigger focus here is collecting the bomb. Nifty, if he wins this whole battle, this could be the difference.
Oh, give me a flick.
He's God if he hits that.
JChem is moving forwards as well. Will that bait out the orbit? Yes, it will. And that is an easy frag for Nifty after all. And now Vice, who was once lurking Palace, waiting for the bomb to make its way towards A, is going to have to do it himself. But he is being watched for. Ooh, Nifty can't actually connect that shot. Maybe there's a chance now. Vice looking for the next frag. There's 50 seconds, so JChem can't play the timer. He's got to fight. Ooh. And that is very tight, but it'll be match point for Renegades.
Damn.
Yeah, he tagged him down to red health, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. See what the money's like for both sides, and everybody died in that round. Yeah, everybody got wiped out. Okay, so JK's down to the MP9. Counterpart sick with the Mac-10. There are struggles for both sides. 3 men for both teams in the middle of position, and it is a complete wipeout in favor of Rogue. 4 versus 2 all of a sudden. This is going to break Renegades. They got no money.
They just ran out mid, no top mid smoke. You like never see that anymore. Just totally caught Renegades off guard. So normally they could expect to set up at mid, watch for the cross, maybe do a flash, but it was right out.
Vintage plays. JKS does what he can, but it's not much on this occasion. Only 3 rounds between these two sides. What's going to happen?
I'm glad you asked, James. Don't have an answer though.
We must bear witness that.
We must wait. Time tells all. And as time ticks on, we'll see Rogue rushing. The anti-eco rush towards that B-bomb site. Quick frag from Cadian. And that'll be the defense gone. So basically the round is won. Just it's about getting those eco frags right now. Let's get some eco frags. Cadian wants more, but he has to plant the bomb. It sucks.
Pistols, USPs. USPs. I love me, from USP. Universal selling points.
Unique selling point.
Jacob doesn't have one. Yeah, that too. I haven't been in office for a while, Dan. Not with a suit on anyway.
Yeah.
What's our USP? Oh, God.
What's your mission statement, James?
I'm a sexy beast. That's my mission statement.
Nice.
Buy this property from me. I'm an outstanding human. and buy this. Buy property. Marvelous. I was an award-winning salesman.
One more save.
What was the award called?
Well, our company disposed of the most property in our region 4 years in a row due to me.
By saying disposed of, do you mean something? Is that
That's the official term. Most
it actually?
active agent in terms of disposals. Yeah, disposals is you're disposing of, I suppose, inventory by selling it or renting it.
Dispose.
It just kind of sounds like you're just giving it away.
Throw in the garbage.
Disposals. Sounds like nappies.
Garbage disposal.
So, James, I said earlier when you walked away, I feel like you'd be a good script writer. You should write like a movie script. I would read it.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it, yeah.
If I remembered all the unusual, if you will, events that I have witnessed or been a part of in my life, I'd be a millionaire.
If you mix those and put them into an anime storyline with Fist of the North Star being your inspiration and The Wire and Oz also mixed in there, then that'd be golden.
Why does it have to be anime?
Because I think it'd just be hilarious.
I'm not an anime person. Someone was offended earlier when I said that I'm not a Pokemon. I don't do Pokemon. And they were like, name 3 Pokemon.
What?
Don't look them up. Yeah, someone tweeted me that. I can name 3: Pikachu, Charizard, and Mewtwo. There we go. There's 3. That's all I got there. It took me a while to. Yeah, I remember Mewtwo was a bad guy in the film. That's it. Anyway. Rogue trying to play for overtime. 2 snipers on the Renegades side. Not that it's really helped them in this CT side. It has been a fail both as far as the CTs are concerned. Both teams have been sinking. Hello, Cadian. I don't know where maybe he's looking towards the window or something?
It's weird that he wasn't in the scope somehow.
Yeah. I don't know where he might be looking for that.
Maybe he double scoped.
Let's see if Hiko has the awareness to not go slowly past that angle.
Cheeky.
Cheeky.
I like that from Yusilo. He hears the deep nade. He knows that he has the window he can jump out of, and he knows that there'll be like the expectation is that he'll fall off at the angle, so he takes the deeper one so he can catch a frag. He almost did. So that's a good play from Yusilo, although it didn't yield the frag. And look at how they're slowing them down now. He's got a rotation onto the bomb site. He's got a third player sort of who just left window, actually going CT. I thought that. Interesting. I thought they read the B play here, but maybe not. Doesn't matter. He still gets 3 in total, and that's probably enough damage here. Rogue will make their last attempt into the bomb site, the Hail Mary play. And it's not going too well. Unless Sick can get a 1v3, life is going to be terrible here for Rogue. The game is slipping through their fingers. Sick gets one more, but his health's so low. Eventually traded out, and Renegades will win the map. 16-14, but you would not have predicted that to be the scoreline had you witnessed only the first half.
Can we see the scoreboard quickly? Oh, it's too late. Never mind. I wanted to see how many CT rounds had been won in total, because it was all about the T sides for the most part, but then Renegades managed to just capitalize on all those rounds they got finally towards the end.
7 rounds, CT rounds.
7 in total.
Because it's 12-3, and then obviously they got one more. 16-14, so it means 7 in total.
Quick math.
Quick maths.
Well, they made a meal of it, as Henry would say.
They made a meal of it. Yeah, they all did. But there we go. I think some players needed to warm up at the beginning of that game, so perhaps they will be ready for the next one, which I believe is Inferno. I'm really curious to see how this leaderboard will just play out with the days to come, because there's so much jumbling that is possible. I do wonder where Cajun was scoping at. I mean, he may have been looking at somebody to jump off the box to his left, but I feel like you'd still see that guy. Anyway, who knows? There it is, 16-14. Jacob with the big damage, proving to be an asset for Renegades. That is Mirage in the bag, and we will move now on to Inferno. That is the next map, and it's the final map of today. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It is coming up in just a few minutes. We will see you back here shortly.